Right, we are live, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for once again another match of the Langford Sevens, and the women's sides are going head to head for this game. England versus Fiji should be exciting. England, they did lose their first game 31 points to nil, but the Fijian draw, oh sorry, not the Fijian draw, sorry, I'm still in Super Rugby mode. The Fijiana side have currently, unfortunately, lost their first game by 1 point, but they will be looking to build their way back in. Fiji, of the last 5 meetings, have won 4 of them. And looking through at the starting lineup for Fiji will be Nagasao, then also Silikoviti, and then Donu Riwai, then Naimasi Nakoti, and Aluna Sao, who was brilliant in that first game up against the USA. Then looking through at the English starting lineup, Abby Brown as the captain, Abby Burton is there as well, and then Boatman, Emma Urin, Crompton, Mulray, and also Norman Bell. But that is their starting lineup off the benches. I'm looking forward to seeing quite a few of these names actually. Now I've looked through a lot of young talent coming up through the rankings, and hopefully they will both be able to perform on a very high level. But the thing is, it is absolutely bucketing down currently in Canada, so it is going to make the conditions just a little bit tougher for both of these sides. And the thing is, the Fijian side, they love offloading, and that is something that in the wet conditions is a little bit more challenging, but I feel they've got the skill level to be able to make it work in this game and get themselves a nice, comfortable win, perhaps, in this matchup. Nagasao, she has been very impressive. I'm going to say that Donu is actually going to be the player who steps up in this game. I would normally go Alunasao, Nkothi, or maybe Nagasao, but I am going to go with Donu for this game. And the number 4 jersey starting this matchup, and Lauren Jenner is going to be in charge of this game, the 23rd match of the series for the Australian. But now Riwai will be kicking this game off for the Fijiana side, and they will be looking for a medal here in Canada. They'd love to be able to get one, and they will have to work very hard for it. But that is one thing that we know that the Fijiana side can do, and that is work hard in these moments. About to be kicked off by Riwai. Very central at the moment for the Fijiana side by the looks of it. Really trying to put the pressure on. It's going to be taken very nicely there by Abby Brown, though. And she's going to be using her foot, or her feet, I should say, to be able to run very quick down the wing, but is unable to outrun the Fijiana side. Now, backline movement looking very good. Straight away, Emma Urin has go straight sideways. And also, bloody hell, I just watched the Fijian UK Army Sevens team win the Oxford Sevens. And here we go again. Says Fleshing and come on the Fijiana Roses. There's Mark Roberts there now going to the short side. Off into the hands of the number 6, Maud. Or More. Maud or More? I think it is one of the two. It's a quick tap taken by the Fijiana side, though. And now they are looking to try and build up a couple more phases. Aluna Sal goes back to Nkothi, who I think was shaking out her hand. I hope she hasn't done some serious damage to one of her fingers. But now it's a backline movement. Solakoviti going down the wing. Does she decide to use the offload? She doesn't. Abby Brown has been able to make a brilliant one-on-one tackle on her. Now passing it out. They have got numbers on this outside if they do need it for Fijiana. But now Aluna Sal tries to pierce a gap, and she has been absolutely incredible. She's only played 3 7 series, and she looks like $1 million the way that she does play. Now Nagasao under a lot of pressure, the captain of the Fijiana side. Now Nkothi with the bounce pass. Going to be sitting up nicely for Donu. Finds the offload. It's loose from Fijiana, and they have actually lost about 15 meters now just trying to get this ball back under control. Nkothi, now it's starting to open up a little bit, and down the wing it's a foot race, and it is going to be won by Naimasi, and she will be able to get herself the first try of the match for the Fijiana side. And it is the try between the sticks, but Naimasi doing well, and they had to work hard for that try, but they did make their way through in the end. And it is her first try at Langford. She didn't score in that first match up against the USA, held the ball in one hand. And even though they did have to go backwards by about 30 meters or so, it was still patient from Fijiana. And that is something that they've got to make sure that they do throughout their games, because they're probably going to come up against, at some stage throughout this competition, New Zealand, Australia. And I feel like those are those 2 big sides that they will want to be able to defeat. And the thing that will beat them is composure. At the moment, that is the 48th try for Naimasi. She made her debut in Dubai in 2017 and has already had 24 tournaments to her name, so she has been playing very nice. They've kicked off long here for the Fijiana side. It's going to hit the post. Brilliantly done. Oh, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on by Fijiana, and that was almost an absolutely incredible play. She kicked it in behind off the kickoff for, I believe it would have been Riwai. Hit the post, bounced back out, but then it was a knock-on, I believe. from the Fijiana side. Yes, it was. Nagasal did end up putting that down. And the knock on, she smacked her head on the ground as well. I hope she is all right, because she is probably certainly a player that they don't want to lose. There's currently some terrible feedback coming through the headphones. In fact, I'm actually going to have to take them off. Okay, they've fixed it now. That was quite a brutal noise in my eardrums. And also we have got there, they're going to beat that side and the squad. And there says Mark Roberts. But now there's going to be Norman Bell, who is about to feed this ball in for England, only 5 meters out from their own line. And Luna Sal, she is lurking around the side of that scrum. Be a big push. And there it bounces out the back quite nicely for them. England under a huge amount of pressure, though, almost falling over her own line. And also I'm back high. Says, Chiefs, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently England inside of their own end goal area, trying to use some of their bigger players, but she is going to get forced backwards in a great tackle from Fiji. I believe that was Abby Burton that they were trying to get to drive her way out, but it's carried back, and now a scrum feed for the Fijiana side, only 5 meters out from the line. I've got his back, says Gareth there as well. I'm sure he's going to be more behaved this time, possibly. But they did try and throw Abby Burton at the line, and that did not work. She got driven backwards. And also he and there, but now the scrum feed for Fijiana. Ball is fed in by Alunasal, waiting for it at the back. And it's going to be now a penalty. And they do take the quick tap. Alunasal, she goes over and she scores the try as well. Second try of the match for Fiji. And they are playing like a side who want to get themselves not just into the quarterfinals, but they want to finish top of this group. For them to do so, they will have to go on and beat New Zealand in their next game. That is taking place at 10:38 a.m. New Zealand time. And we are going to be covering that game on the channel. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. It is that pinned comment up there. For anyone who does want to check it out and help us out, it is hugely appreciated. And how are we? Says the Chiefs, doing very well. For someone who has currently been up for about 16 hours, I'm feeling very refreshed for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because we've now got sevens. And sevens compared to Union, it's so quick, it's so fast. Games are over before we know it. We're already halfway through the first half of this game. And also we have got have you been watching the Women's Six Nations? Not as much as I would like to. I've seen a few of the matches. I know that England are doing very nicely and they are looking hard to beat going into that World Cup. But I see there's quite a few one-sided matches that we have seen in that competition. But hopefully I will get a chance to watch them on replay, because I think we've actually got them all available here in New Zealand on replay at some stage. So hopefully I'll be able to watch them all and get me knowledge up for the Women's Rugby World Cup that is coming just around the corner. 2 minutes left in the first half. Fiji currently ranked 6th compared to the 7th that England are ranked here. It's still 12-0 in favour of Fiji, and really fully charged batteries in there, says Mark. And also we have got England will win, says Chiefs. And now it's going to be fired back across. England have got this ball only a few metres out from their own line. It's going to be a nice bit of work down the wing. Wrestled down, though. There's a good tackle on Grace Compton, trying to keep this ball on their side. And the Fijiana side, once again, have been able to get themselves the penalty. I keep almost calling them Fijiana Drua, because the Fijiana Drua side actually winning themselves their union competition. That was close to forward. And I think they're all asking the question there for England, but the ball is going to be put down. And as a second try of the match now for Sila Corvetti. In fact, her first try of this match, she was extremely close earlier on. And also, what do you think of Stormers versus Leinster? Interesting finish. I would have to say very interesting finish, with the fact that Leinster were willing to take the loss to kick that ball out. And the thing is, they had like 50 points over Munster. So unless something absolutely crazy happened in that Munster game, they were still going to be able to go through as number one. And also, they beat Ireland and Wales by 50 plus points in the Six Nations. And France is their only challenge, says Jason. Also, but how does one team get that much better than everyone else, says Gareth? I guess it's just all down to, how they train. And also, I guess if you've got some star players who really shine, it can make a whole lot of difference for as a Welshman. I want Fiji to win, but I have the strange feeling of guilt. English, yes, Flesh, and also a very tough game it was. Here's Barry Green. It was indeed a very close one at halftime. 6-3, I believe it was, wasn't it? And now I'm going to be firing the ball back. It's a bounce pass from England. Currently 19-0 down in the early stages of this game. I should say. Emma Uren now dragged down, looking to the short side. Little bit of space down and open up. It is a Garubba Mine, and it's a foot race. I believe it is going to be won Why? No, it's not. She has actually dropped that ball then, I must see. And now because of it, England just continue to bump the ball forward, trying to win the foot race. It's a loose ball. It's grabbed on the ground, though. Is that playing the ball on the ground? I think that is. But I think it is allowed. And now it's going to be taken back by England. They win themselves. No, they don't win the penalty. And now it is going to be Fiji getting this ball back. They are only a couple meters out from their line, almost taking it back, and they kick it into touch, and that will be halftime now. And also, we've got that. Is this the last game for you tonight, says Barry Green? It is not. We have still got Fiji versus New Zealand a little bit later on tonight. And then after that, we are actually going to be doing the game of Super Rugby between the Brumbies and the Hurricanes. So even though we've been up for quite a while, we have still got probably another 10 hours of being up for ourselves. So that's going to be fun. And we might even have a recording session with George in between as well. So my voice might be gone, but the spirits are still high. And also how 19-0. What is England doing, says Jason? It's the women's sevens. And Fiji at the moment are looking like they are going to be very tough to beat. 3 tries, 3 visits to the opposition, 22. England haven't had a lot of the ball at all. And also, they haven't actually made any errors yet in this game, according to the stats for England. But all of the Fijiana side taking deep breaths, trying to keep themselves very calm. And also, New Zealand will win that match, or with that match. And then also, we've got England missing the rest of the UK. He's flashing there, of course. Great Britain is what they were known as for a very long time. The thing is, though, like, it's Great Britain normally. It's England for this competition, but I don't believe any of the other sides are actually in this competition, which seems kind of rough of why they couldn't just leave it as Great Britain and at least have some Scottish and some Welsh players scattered throughout there. Because who is that Welsh winger who is absolutely brilliant? Jasmine Joyce. Where is she? That is the big question. I would love to see her back in action, but sadly, because it is just England, they aren't actually able to do so. I'm going to check the standings here. Who have we got? Have we got anyone in this competition? Okay, so Australia, Canada, Ireland, France, Brazil. Yeah, so no sign of any other ones of the Great British sides. So Wales would have been awesome to see. Jasmine Joyce. Scotland, I believe they had a couple of very good players throughout the last little while as well for Great Britain. Now we're back out on the field for the second half. Abby Brown, she'll be a bit disheartened at this current point in time because we are sitting currently at 19-0 in favour of the Fijians. But Abby Brown, she will be hoping that her side can get back into this game. It's going to be a tricky one, but they do need to score first, that is for sure. Going to be kicked off once again by England. And I think they have already had to make a couple of these subs. Maybe Norman Bell, though, is the lady who has just kicked that one off for the Fijiana side. A little bit of a lobby pass, could have been risky, but now nice ball on the outside. It's called as forward. And now England have got this ball back inside of the 22 of Fijiana, and this will be a perfect attacking opportunity to try and get themselves their first points on the board. Nail biting that game, Storm, as the excitement of that game took my energy. I'm tired now, says Barry Green there as well. And yeah, it was a very entertaining game. Definitely, like, with the fact that it went so close at the very end. The same thing happened with, I believe it was, what was it? The game between Sharks and Benetton, or not Benetton, sorry, Connacht looked relatively close to the end. And also go Fiji, says Louis there. And also Jasmine is on a Welsh pro contract now, I believe, says Fletcher. Also, is she actually in the Welsh International Union side? In fact, I might be able to help you out with some information on that. Although I see that all the Women's Six Nations games, there's actually Ireland versus Scotland currently taking place. England versus Wales. I'm going to quickly look at the lineups. Have we got a Jasmine Joyce? Yes, we do. So she is playing for Wales currently. That's going to be the first try of the match for England there. And it is scored by, it was Crompton, was able to go over for her first try of Langford. And that's actually the first points on the board for England of this competition, I should mention, as they were 31-0 up against New Zealand. And also we have got there what the score. Says Chase and also go England go. They were able to go over for their first try of the match. Could they come back beyond for England here in the later stages of the year? Jasmine Joyce, she is playing for Wales currently. They did actually lose to England 58 points to 5, I believe that score was, that I was looking at there. But it is the AstroTurf that they are playing on, which is why we see so much padding on the elbows, on the knees as well. You don't want to rip the skin because or else then that will be very painful for them. Definitely, because I know that New Zealand were talking about the fact that they're having ice baths before these games, and also like in the training in the morning. It's cold enough, I would have thought. Currently, it's given some points to Fiji. So have they just scored, or have they got it slightly wrong? And also, we've got their Fijiana are strong. They certainly are. and they just have that passion and the drive to be able to do well. It is now going to be a good run forward from Aluna Sal. Taken back now from Abby Brown, and the fight back could be on for England. Backline movement almost working out for them, but not quite. The score currently in this game is 19 points to Fijiana. So I don't know where those extra points came from, but they certainly haven't got them yet. And it looks like England are going to be driving their way forward, trying to pass this one back out. Abby Brown trying to go through. There's not much of a gap there for her, though. It's still going to be available. And the penalty goes the way of Fijiana. Taking the quick tap. They have got numbers on this left-hand side if they get it right. It's going to be a foot race. Nice ball on the inside. And it looks like it's going to be a run and try for Nakothi. Or is it? Oh, she's almost been stopped, but she has still got the ball down. So I guess that is where that try came from, that they had given them credit for. That was a very early credited try, if that was the one that they meant, unless they just had a little glitch and maybe gave it to the wrong side initially or gave it to both sides for that last try. But it was a nice try for Nakothi. She goes in. And now the Fijiana draw side. Fijiana. I keep on calling them the draw because, of course, the draw winning Super W, beating the Waratahs in the final, which was absolutely massive for them. Now going down for that try, and now looking for the conversion. She has been able to get it straight down the middle. And now the lead at this point in time extending to 26 points to 5 in favour of the Fijiana side. Now currently sitting 3 minutes 15 left. And I said, yes, they did. There's Chiefs there as well, but that one has gone high in the air. England trying to claim that one, hasn't been able to take a very clean Abby Brown. And you'd have to argue that was playing the lady in the year for that one. And I think she is complaining about that one a little bit, Abby Brown. No, hasn't actually complained at all. And also, yeah, they're definitely missing Jasmine Sevens pace. And there's this and yes, she is outstanding. The amount of pace that she has got. Her versus Michaela Blythe is still one of my favourite battles that we've ever seen, because those two just run fast. They run hard. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how, I guess, Wales finishes in the Six Nations, but more importantly, how they finish in the World Cup that is coming up soon. And then England is in the same boat. They have got a very strong union side. Fijiana ready to feed this ball in, and it is going to be Taruti who's putting this ball in now. Oh, stand up, guys. Okay, holding the ground. I think there was a little bit of disruption going on at scrum time there between the two sides, just getting it slightly wrong. Oh. Okay. The Fijiana side, they have said that they're actually the largest front row that they have got in the competition. 5'8", 5'7", and 5'8", I believe, were the sizes that they did just mention in terms of the height. Now currently hanging on to this ball. It looks like they are setting up once again. Noimasi goes off to the right-hand side. Bit of space down the wing now, and it's going to be big. Solokoviti almost going into touch, but somehow keeps herself in the field of play. Nakothi now passes it back across field for Fijiana. Good run forward, offload, finding the mark, and this is going to be another try for Fijiana and also Wales. I feel they're not going to win the World Cup in their says Chiefs, and that is going to be a brilliant try now. And that's another try for Fijiana. At that time, it was Taruti was able to go in and score the try, and now Fijiana are really extending this lead well. And it does mean that they should be able to go in and possibly finish second in this group, being sitting on 33 points. It was nicely done. In fact, was it? I think that's actually... Wait, she's wearing shorts that say 12 and wearing a shirt that says 11. But Taruti was the try scorer. She has stolen Leko Thiva's shorts, I believe it is, at this stage. But she has been able to score herself the try. And very nicely done for Fijiana now. Only 1 minute left in this game. It's going to be knocked back onto the side of England. The ball bounces up. It's a knock on there. And it's just mistake after mistake currently for England in this game, unfortunately. And it's not their game, but England, they will have to try and win their next game, because if they do not win their next game, that is going to be probably the hopes of winning this competition or even making it through to the quarterfinals could be done. And well, New Zealand will beat them. And yeah, and it's going to be a classic finals match, says Mark. And also Wales women are a work in progress, just became professional this year, too late in the World Cup, but in a few years. Exactly right. I feel like that's the thing. Everyone's got to start somewhere. And I hope that they do develop their game. That was a big shot in the spine from Ewansley. Now just on the side of Fijiana Drua. Sorry, Fijiana. I'm going to keep on calling them the Drua accidentally, but every time that I mention it, I do get to bring up the fact that they won Super W. Nice run in now, and it is going to be the try here for Fijiana, the last try of the match, and this time was Lukuthewa who was able to score it. Nicely done by Fijiana, and they have now got themselves possibly a 40-point win or 35-point margin over the English, and that will be giving them a huge amount of confidence. But nicely done by Fijiana. It was just an offload. You can't defend against offload after offload. And now the next game that we are covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, it will be at 10:38 a.m. New Zealand time. And that is going to be the matchup taking place between New Zealand and Fiji. So that is a massive game in terms of the sevens. Both sides easily could win this competition. So we will have to wait and see exactly which way that one goes. And also because I've ever seen a rugby sevens, although up against Brazil, or sorry, not up against Brazil, Mexico, Australia just beat them 58-0 a little bit earlier on. But now that is going to be the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. That is at 10:30 New Zealand. It is indeed 10:30 p.m. 10:30 a.m. New Zealand time is when that one is taking place. 2 hours and 15 minutes, exactly right. And that is when the next game that we are covering on the channel is going to be taking place. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope you did enjoy, and we will see you all for the